On the water, Anarchy on the docks here. Day 2 of the Charleston Race Week 2010, brought to you by Layline and Harken. And I actually finally got a chance to come over and check out the sport boats. We didn't get to today because we're, as Christian pointed out, a bunch of pussies and we can't handle the waves. I've got with me, in pan right for a second here, I've got the owners of 2 of the coolest boats out that are at this event. The rare and sort of cult classic Viper 830, one of the really high-powered ultralight displacement boats in the last decade. And you've got 2 of them here. Thank you guys both for coming, by the way. I've got Bryan Taylor, Christian Jensen, and you know, it's great to see you guys. Tell me though, Bryan, you guys, Texas you drove from, is that right?
Yeah, we came in from Dallas. We left Wednesday morning, took about 20 hours, and it's a little over 1,000 miles. Got in early Thursday before the sun came up. Went and got in line for the crane, put the mast up. We're in the water and over here. I mean, we started having fun Thursday, so...
I know Christian sails the boat quite a bit up in Chicago, and he's had it for a while. You guys new to the boat, or, you know?
No, actually, I've had the boat for 6 years. We sail predominantly on lakes around Dallas. We go down to Galveston Bay a few times a year. We like to do the Harvest Moon, which is a coastal race from Galveston to Port Aransas, 160 miles. But most of our sailing's on inland lakes.
Talk to us about, this is your first time at Charleston, right?
This is.
Talk to us about what you've experienced so far. You know, obviously it's plenty big out there, plenty of breeze. Is it the right stuff for your boat? Is it, you know, you having a blast, or is it a little hard?
I don't think the boat was designed for what we've seen the last couple of days, and Christian can attest to that.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You guys are what? Probably 4 to 5 foot waves out there today, and short, close together.
Yeah, they weren't as short and close together as yesterday. With the change in wind direction today, it was a little easier to get upwind. But you know, coming down is a blast. We were doing teens, easy. I think we hit 16 something today. Yesterday 15. So it's worth it.
What about Christian? I know you don't travel with your boat too much, but you came a long way to come down here, all the way from Chicago. How's the class been? You guys have a wide spread in your perf class, but is it worth it to come down here and race against sport boats?
Yeah, well, it's always fun to go and race in the sun, so you know, sailing is always good. I think the setup would have been better for us to be on the harbor. I know it's tough because the harbor is reasonably tight. The trek out and in with a little 4-horse on the ass there is an adventure. Yesterday coming back, we had 18 on the nose. You know, we had to motor sail in. You know, we could probably have motored at 2 knots or whatever, right? So that makes for a very long day.
Yeah.
Outside, it's a little bumpy. You know, if you take a Melgus 24 that's built more like a dump truck compared to these boats,
right.
You can hammer through some of all this stuff. These boats are a little more fickle, and they're certainly much more powered up. So they're tough. You know, they're very light. You know, it's 27 and a half foot boat, but you have about 2,400 pounds, depending on, you know, the day of the week they were built. But, you know, so they don't just plow through the waves. Well, actually, they still go through the waves and you get a shitload of water over. So it's you do a fair amount of submarining out there. You bang around a little bit more than we like. The runs downwind are fun, but, you know, you have a 40-minute upwind and you have a 12-minute downwind. So...
I think inside the harbor, and this is the big problem with racing these boats in the harbor, is that inside the harbor, when the wind's in a certain direction, you can only have a 0.8-mile runway with current. You have a 22-minute upwind and you have a 3.5-minute downwind. So, you know, it's sort of hard to do much with it, but at the same time, I know the event wants to accommodate whatever people want to do if there's room. So,
I could live with shorter courses and just do more donuts around the around. That's not a problem.
I think so too.
You know, I could go either way, as long as everybody's got the same conditions, and
sure.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. And 0.8 miles, you know, hoist, jibe, douse is not terribly fun, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, look, the event, I know the people who run the event are pretty open, so just keep a dialogue going. We'd love to have you all back. You know, I live 5 miles down the road right there, and I love sailing this place inside, outside. What about current? I know inside we had massive current on an instant switch. I mean, it was like literally just an instant switch, and you had 3.5, 4 knots at times right there. Are you experiencing as much of that outside? Not usually, or is it still a big factor?
It hasn't been much of a factor outside. It hasn't affected the way we sail, to be honest with you. It's killed us going in and out, but once we get it...
You had it with you. I know you had it with you.
Yesterday, it was with us. We were making about 3 knots on the knot meter and about 5.5 with the GPS, so it was nice yesterday. And then today, unfortunately, we had some carnage and had to come in early. It was a great sail in, nice and flat. So,
And this is what I mean. It's a little north of what we usually have, but one of the neat things about being offshore is almost 9 days out of 10 from this time of year, you're coming in with the wind on a reach and you just rip through the channel and piss off the fishermen.
Yeah. We on the way in we were unfortunately couldn't use our mainsail on the way back today, but we had just our number 2 jib up and we were hitting hull speed, sometimes over, and it was a great ride on the way in.
Right on. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you guys both. Thank you for coming to Charleston. Christian, always good to see you, brother. We'll talk soon.